In these economic times, you can never be sure that what you're doing today will be here next year. So, what I'm suggesting is that you take a good look at your options. What else could you do if you needed to change your career, your work, your occupation, or what you're going to do when you're going to grow up? Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. I'm constantly asked the question, can you find me a good business that makes a good money? And I constantly answer, what are you interested in? What's your expertise? What's your background? And I started to look at this question really closely. Well, what industries make any sense to go into? Because all industries have been hit. Or at least I thought so when I started this research. And what I came up with was, we need to be in an area that's mandated by law, or, secondarily, mandated by life. Now, I once gave a speech and talked about the ideal negotiating position was to control somebody's oxygen, right? Because you had your hands around their neck while you were negotiating with them. Is that an easy negotiation?
No.
Should be.
Well, given that, what do people have to buy? What do consumers have to spend money on?
Food.
Why do food? Yes.
Housing.
You want to be in things that are not discretionary. You want to be in mandated things. I started to make a list and started to look around, and I'd like to tell you what I found. Are you interested?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. I want to give you some examples. Things mandated by law. You have to file a tax return. Now, you can do it yourself, but many people don't want to do it themselves. Tax services. Tax services are up 2%, 3% in every depression. Why? You got to file a tax return. I got into the pool business because they had passed a federal law that said commercial pools had to be updated. Now, they didn't have to do business with me, but they had to do this. So all of a sudden, there was more business in the pool contracting business than there was before, mandated by law. I actually signed up 80 or 90 contracts in a 3 or 4 month period.
Wow.
Then I kept following this through. Now, we said food. Well, if you own a food chain like Trader Joe's, they're doing well because people have to buy food.
Right.
But let's say that you're in the wholesale food distribution. Is that a good business? Not if they're supplying food to restaurants, which most food distribution companies are selling to restaurants. And are restaurants mandated by life or by law?
Yeah.
No. Do you know that 33% of all the businesses on the street are restaurants or food related? And 50% of all the businesses that are sold are restaurants. 50%. And this area is not mandated by anything, and they're in really deep trouble because they're not mandated. What's the first thing you cut when you're tight on money? You don't want to eat as much. So, if you're going to work on a new career, or possibly a new career, you need to look at what is mandated. For example, Roberta's in the entertainment industry. But if she's looking in the entertainment industry, she's going to find that some areas are more mandated by life, where the parents are doing it for their children, versus something that's more discretionary. But if you do this analysis and you look at everything that's going on and you look at your customers in whatever industry you're in and start saying, are they going to be around next year if the economy goes into a second dip, which I say it will, then you want to know if your customers are going to be around. And if not, you want to transfer to more motivated by law, than you did before. Everybody says, oh, well, they've got government contracts. Well, government contracts are mandated by law. But just having a government contract, you can lose it because you now got 30 people competing to take the business away. So in conclusion, start looking at where you want to be in the future. Decide what you'd like to do when you grow up. What career might be interesting to you. And what you want to do to make a little money, a comfortable amount of money, or a lot of money. Figure out what's mandated by law or mandated by life.